What is up, guys? This is Troy from Sweet Wraps. A little slow start to the morning getting this car up and running. The battery is going dead and we don't know what the issue is, but hopefully we can fix that down the road. We're assessing the wrap at the moment. Today we're going to assess the wrap and fix a lot of the problems that we had coming up on this specific color itself. Reached out to the company. They said that the manufacturing process on this color is super complicated and it might lead to failures down the road. So they did warranty this roll, guys. Huge thumbs up to them. They did send me another 36 feet of it just to replace all the panels that are troubled. So we're gonna go around this car, we're gonna peel it off, we're gonna assess the damages, we're gonna see if it needs any prep underneath it, and then we're gonna reapply this material. If the customer does have issues with this down the road, the best I could do, since it's a problem on the material itself and not anything having to do with the installer errors, I would probably give them a discount of going a different company, a different color, just because I want this to stick correctly and not have any issues, guys. Unfortunately, sometimes this happens, and sometimes the cool thing is that this company did reach out. It did warranty the roll itself, so they did go through the process. They did go through with the customer service, and I give them a big thumbs up, guys. But unfortunately, this kind of turns us away to certain materials, certain colors, because we don't want this happening over and over again, guys. We don't want it to be working on the same car over and over again for something that's not an installer error. So we're gonna get all these trouble spots peeled off, rewrapped, ready to go. Hopefully this doesn't happen again, guys, but if it does, we'll keep the company in check and let them know that this color should be taken off the market, because not taken off the market, but taken off the shelf until this adhesive failure does get corrected. You don't want installers not trusting their brand, and you don't want the company to be losing a lot more money than what they're going to be because of failures like this. So the cool thing is that when it comes to wraps in the community, we always communicate with each other, make sure the installer part is done perfectly and the manufacturing part is done correctly. We don't want to have failures on both ends of the communication. So let's get down to it, guys. Let's peel this off. Let's get to prepping it, and then let's rewrap it. So guys, I just want to show you the failure parts on this color specifically. That happened, as you could see. There's bubbling underneath the side mirrors right here, all around the side mirrors for some reason. All that right there. And then right on bottom of the door, guys, just on this section right here all the way through, there's bubbling right there, as you can see. There's a couple bubbles right there on the quarter panel. There is bubbles right here on the hatch. All over the edge of the hatch right here, as you can see. One right there, one right here, all that. And then see, it didn't happen on this side, on this quarter, so this one's good. It did happen up here, but I think this is paint, so we're not going to replace this one because I'm afraid of lifting up the rest of the paint that's underneath this. This one doesn't look too bad right here, so we're not going to try to get this up. We are going to replace the hatch. We're going to replace both doors because of the bubbling around the side mirrors and underneath the doors. You can see there's another big bubble right there. And the roof, guys. For some reason, I don't know why this happens. I stretched this way, not this way. So I'm not sure why this pulled back. But we're going to leave a little bit of extra material. We're going to use some backing paper to squeegee in that material in between the seal, and then we're gonna go from there, guys. We're gonna try to get this car looking as good as it can. and hopefully this doesn't happen again. Alright guys, so we're gonna get to peeling off the hood. Unfortunately, we do have a little background noise because we're working across the street today. I'm gonna end up peeling off this hood. We're gonna prep it, all the edges, and then we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna time lapse you guys, put some music on in the background just so you won't hear that the ruckus across the street, and then we'll go from there, guys. Let's wrap it up. Whew. Horrible. Horrible. All right. All right, guys, we got the hood removed. As you can see, that was kind of a struggle. If you were to be removing this, I would 100% recommend park it out in the sun and get to removing in the sun itself, just so it could stay as warm as it can to where the adhesive is pliable, because you don't want to heat it up too much. Because what I saw right now is that if you heat it up too much, it'll start leaving the adhesive residue behind. You just want it warm, just a touch of heat, guys. Literally like 3 seconds is good enough. I had my heat gun set to medium, and I was quite a ways away, and just with the little bit of heat that was touching the vinyl, actually softened it up enough to where I could pull it off. Cold was horrible. Super hot leaves adhesive, guys, just so you can know. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some adhesive remover. We're gonna start spraying it on a rag and getting off this little adhesive residue. From there we're gonna clean off the edges, guys, and then go from there. Go. Pretty much got all the adhesive off, guys. We're just going to want to go over all those lines a little bit more where you see that the adhesive was. You just want to go over those adhesive lines a little bit more. Make sure you got everything off, just in case. You don't want to leave adhesive residue underneath and then you wrap over it and it's going to show where the adhesive is. So I'm just going to want to make sure you go over everywhere, the spots twice where all the adhesive was left. There we go. And then from there we're going to open the hood up, and we're going to go on all the edges. And then from there, we're just going to clean it with some water and soap, some isopropyl alcohol, and then we're going to get it wrapped up. So far, so good, guys. What you can do to protect the edges a bit more, guys, is go over it with some McGuire's ceramic coat. This will put a barrier between the wrap and anything else that might get on it, just in case. There we go. just in case anything lands on it, like adhesive remover or anything like that. It's gonna have a barrier of stuff, so it can protect it from it. So guys, I just want to show you how easy it comes off when you actually have it in the sun. Also want to show you what adhesive failure looks like when the adhesive does fail and it bubbles up like this. So you can see right here, the adhesive is not there where it bubbled. It's on the actual car itself. Like you can see it from right here. Let's see if you can see it, guys. I just rubbed it with my finger so you could see it a little bit more. But as you can see, all the adhesive was left on there where that bubble was. And as we get over here, I'll show you the difference between how it fails and how it usually sticks. Because when it sticks right here, guys, all this was covered in adhesive. All this is adhesive. So on a regular vinyl, a good quality vinyl, it'll leave it clean like this, just like it left the rest of it. But when it fails, and every once in a while, every company fails, guys, 3M, Avery, doesn't matter, it'll just leave the adhesive on there like that, and it's you'd have to take it off with an adhesive remover. If the company is good, which this company, like I said, did warranty or did reach out to me to replace the material that I did waste on this. So I recommend them. They do make a lot more colors that are not really available on all the rest of the materials, or the rest of the companies that are on the market. Don't have close to the flake of this brand does. So they have like a candy apple red, they have this color, they have several other high metallic materials that not a lot of people have, which I like. Their material looks really good, and it usually installs, and the life on it is pretty long. That's why I was kind of shocked that this one didn't last as long as the rest. But I have used this company before many times, never had an issue besides this color. So I would really recommend them, especially like I said, because they upholded their warranty. I would really recommend them. But let's see how it acts when it comes to these bubbles over here. I want to show you. I just want to record this just in case the company asks about it. But there's bubbles right here. I'm going to show you how it looks when it comes off. There we go. And as I thought, guys, it is adhesive failure. If I rub it like this, you could actually see that the adhesive turns white. So unfortunately, it's not the company's fault, guys. It's just a manufacturing process. Sometimes stuff doesn't come out right. So like I said, I really give them thumbs up, guys. I really give them props for giving me a warranty roll, or to cover what actually did mess up, even though it's not really the people that sell it to you's fault. It's just the manufacturing error. I really commend them for that. Like, not a lot of companies, especially not a lot of American companies, keep up with their warranty. I've had a lot of issues like this with different companies such as KPMF, 3M, Cheetah Wrap. Even though they did give me a discount, 20% off, but I mean that's not enough for a full roll to be defective. If you go back in my previous videos, I actually did another one of these Corvettes, I believe, or a newer one in Nardo Gray in their material, and it had an extreme amount of defects, and all they could give me is a 20% off discount. So yeah, that was really disappointing. But sometimes you get good companies like this, guys, that make sure the customers have a good experience and have every car with their material looking good. That's a big part, guys. If from any perspective of the chain of wraps, from the manufacturer to the seller to the installer, if anyone fails at the thing, it's gonna show. You're gonna want the cars done in your material, or the cars that you installed, or anything. You're gonna want them to look good, guys, so people could say, oh, well, I like that company, let's go with them. Or I like that installer, let's go with them. Or that guy kept up his warranty, I'll go with them. The less problems you have with a certain company, the better it is for anyone going into the wrap industry. So yeah, I really recommend it for that.
To the garage, got a vision in my mind. I'll take this ride and make it one of a kind. Glossy matte chrome, survive today till the stickers move it out, fade away. From blacked out stealth to neon glow. Whatever you dream, let's make it show. No more stock, we level up. Grab that roll, it's time to go. Wrap it up, make it shine, lay it down, through those lines, peel it back, press it tight. Now that pride is looking right. Wrap it up. Take your time, turn it fresh, redefine, new design, don't be shy, now you're rolling, looking fly. Heat gun in my hand, yeah, I'm locking it in. Stretching out the color, watch the magic begin. Sad silver candy, red or collection blue. And this combination, what you wanna do? Just shine. Deshaun, 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 wrap it up, make it shine, lay it down, smooth those lines, peel it back, press it tight. Now that ride is looking right. Wrap it up, take your time, turn it fresh, redefine, new design, don't be shy. Now you're rolling, looking fly.
Hey, we wrap it up. Watch them turn your heads. Custom dreams on wheels, shred up.
So guys, let me put you on the tripod. I just want to show you the difference between peeling this off in your shop, a temperature control place, and peeling it off in the sun when it's warm to the touch and hot out here. So let me just show you how much easier it is with the sun beating down on the actual material itself. Just like that, guys. Yep, and this is adhesive failure, as you can see here. There's adhesive dots missing, and the adhesive is actually on the panel itself. So I don't know why that happened. Yeah, beyond me. I don't know. I've never had an issue with this vinyl. Unfortunately, we did have it on this specific car. But yeah, as you can see, guys, it's a lot easier to remove in the sun. You're gonna want to do this in the sun. And any vehicle or any brand, to be honest, it's a lot easier to uninstall in the sun, guys. Just when it's warm to the touch, it's gonna be a lot easier. Just like that. want to get this off in one piece just so I could show you guys how that adhesive failure looks like on APA. On every brand it looks different. Just going to show you on this. So like this. Alright, so as you can see guys, for some reason all that bottom end, you could see a whole stripe on that and all the adhesive is messed up. I'm not sure why. Like I said, I don't know, can you see that in the video? Let me see. There you go. You can see all that line guys. The glue has failed on all that line. Why? I have no idea. Like I said, all I used was alcohol to clean this panel down. But as you can see right there, you can see right here, all that bottom end, you can see a stripe going straight through the bottom of that, and then around the side mirror as well. You can see that blotchiness. But as you can see guys, uninstalling it in the sun, super easy installation, and it doesn't leave any adhesive residue, or as much as with the heat gun. It does still leave a little bit. Like I said, any brand is going to leave a little bit, but fortunately we could get it off with not too much of a hassle. There you go guys. We're gonna install this door, the hatch, the roof, the other door, and the other quarter panel. This quarter panel right here, just because this one on the bottom end did create some bubbles down here, so we are going to remove this one. And it did shrink back from the back end right here, so we're gonna try to get this car on, hopefully with a spare battery, because this car had an issue with the battery for some reason, and get this top piece removed, and we'll go from there. We'll get to installing the rest of the vehicle. As long as you have a key for this car, you're fine, because you could go unlock the back hatch and then pull the string so you could open the door, and then you could get all the rest open. So just to let you know that. But yeah, let's get to installing all of this stuff guys, everything that's touching the sun, and then we'll go to installing the rest. Alright guys, what's up? This is Troy from Sweet Wraps. I just wanted to show you, I know a lot of people that work on these cars are like, can I cheat on the back? Is there a way that I can wrap it with less material than what I need? Yes, there is. This back hatch, especially on the newer ones, it's a lot bigger than 5 feet. It's 64 inches, so 4 inches more than 5 feet. There is a way that you could get this done without having to cut 64 inches. As you can see, it's short on the top end, but if you line this up with the middle, and you see, if you do this, keep it straight, and if you do this, just tilt it a bit, you could totally fit all this section with 5 feet. The only thing is that you're not going to do this. What you're going to do is kind of tack this side down, stretch it just a little bit to the right, and all of this will fall into place. You don't have to do a drastic stretch guys. It's not that bad. I've done several like this with no failures, so I'm going to show you how to do it right now. The only thing you're going to want to do, always make sure to do, is keep this straight, as straight as possible. You're going to want it as far forward as possible, because we're going to tilt it downwards, so all this is actually going to come downwards. But you're going to want to fold the material in half in the perfect center, get the perfect center, snitty the back end, and then we're going to tack it on one side, and then work one side, and then we're going to do the other side. So get your squeegee, get some slip solution on there. And what we're gonna do, get the middle, fold it over just a little bit, just a good amount to where you could tack it down and it'll hold it in place. Like I said, all of this is fiberglass, guys, so you're gonna have issues with it sticking, or issues without being able to get a magnet on here. So what we're gonna want to do is get this as straight as possible and centered as possible. So right about here, right about there. See what I did with my hands, how I spread it out so I can make sure that everything is straight and flat. So all you're going to want to do is get that squeegee down as good as you can. And from there we're going to work this way. Well, at least I'm going to work this way. You guys can work whichever side you want. The most prominent hand is probably going to be the best first position. So if you're right-handed, you go with this side. If you're left-handed, you go with the other side. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get at least a good maybe foot and a half peeled up, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to snitty that back end. So we're going to cut the backing off this back end, just like that. We're going to peel all this off, and we're keeping the back end on the top end, guys, just so we could have more maneuverability on it. As you can see right there, that's perfect. That's how you're going to want it to lay. So you're just going to want to kind of stretch it at an angle backwards so it could just fall down correctly how it's supposed to. Don't be scared to do this, guys. You're gonna have more stretch this way, so it's not gonna be pulling up and down. It's gonna be pulling up to pulling side by side, so it's actually gonna wrap around the panel itself. So you're just gonna wanna get this elevated. Heat up a good section. Sure everything is pliable. And then from here, you're just gonna eyeball it, guys. Eyeball where you need to pull, just like that. When you get to a certain section, you're gonna see how it's just gonna want to lay itself down. So just like that. And don't worry about all the fingers, guys. How we're gonna be doing this, it's not gonna pull back or anything. It's actually gonna hold itself where you're putting it. So you're gonna want to pull it this way, and then once you get to this corner, you're gonna be pulling it this way so it could gradually make the tension to where you want it to go. Don't worry about the fingers, guys. The more that you do this, the more correctly you do this, because watch, as you get to this end, if you do it correctly and just stretch that middle piece, all this is going to want to lay down where it's supposed to lay down with no tension, because we're only stretching this spot, not this spot, and we're pretty much going to cut out the majority of that tension that we're actually taking out of the top, so we could drape it down this way. So as you can see, we already got it perfectly right there. We could just lay it down with no tension, no heat, and it'll lay down perfectly right there. Look at. And it's done with 5 feet, guys. You don't have to waste. You don't have to cut your stuff long ways to waste more material than you have to. So from here, what you're gonna want to do is feed it into that the recess right here, and put tension forward, guys. Like I said, you're not gonna have any tension fighting against you, because we're actually not even creating all that tension on the actual body itself. We're creating more of the tension on that glass section right there. And if you want, you could even get this here, pull this forward, and then use your squeegee to kind of get more rough cut of where the glass is. And then you can get your snitty over here and cut some of the access vinyl to where it won't be hanging up on the glass itself, just like this, just like that, guys. So we could pretty much lay it with a lot less vinyl hanging up on the glass. As you can see right here, guys, look, there you go. It just wants to lay down by itself. You just need to make sure you're getting all of the air out of this recess right here. And when you pick up this material, you're always going to want to heat it and reset it, because this material sticks a lot. And anytime you pull it off the actual panel itself, you're going to stretch it. So you're just going to want to reset it so you won't have any tension in that vinyl. And then just lay it slowly where it wants to lay. Like I said, if you do this correctly, guys, you're not going to have any tension fighting against you. As you can see, I'm just laying it where it wants to go. So just like that. From here you could just kind of drape it across while you're squeegeeing it. You can even pull off all the backing as well. And we could just pretty much get it kind of laid, not kind of laid, but kind of glassed out, kind of just hovering where you need it to be, like right there. And then you could attack the middle right there, and then we could finish off the sides like that. Boom, just like that. So guys, this is how you do a Corvette. This works on pretty much all the back end hatches or any car that's like this. This works on all of them. You could use this trick on a lot more than just a hatch, guys. Make sure that when you use this trick, don't fight the tension, guys. If you have it lifting up on you or fingering on places over here, you're going to want to pick it up and do it again. You just tried it a couple times. You really don't want to waste this much material just learning this. This is quite advanced. I haven't seen any other person do it this way, but I do a lot of them this way, and it saves you a lot more material. And because of how it's stretched, so you're stretching this one and stretching that way, you're gonna have all the edges roll over the edge of where you're gonna cut. It's not gonna want to lift up anywhere from the middle, because you're pulling the tension sideways and you're pulling it forward against all the edges, guys. So this is a cool way to do it, and a really good way to do it, because you're gonna have tension where you need it, and like I said, you're gonna save a lot more material doing it this way. So this is what I like to do to make it a little easier to trim out. I'll just get a snitty and go along all the edges, and as you can see, I did take all the glass where the glass meets the panel itself, just so I could trim it out a little easier, and so I could reposition it a little bit easier. You're going to want to tuck in as much in between that glass as possible, and then you're gonna cut it after that. So we're gonna do the same exact thing on this side as we did on this side, just so we can get it exactly like that. I'm gonna show you so you could see that it's possible. As you can see, it's straight to the edge, so there's no way that you could mess this up unless you cut too much on this top end. You're gonna want to cut that U a little bit more narrow than because if you line this up straight, as you can see, and you run your finger like this, as you can see, I run my finger along the glass, if you're gonna follow that like about an inch above it and you stretch it down this way, you might pass it and be short on the actual lane itself. So you're gonna want to get it as straight as possible, just like that. It was laying exactly like that. And then when you feed it in, you're gonna want to cut about maybe 4 to 5 inches past where you're running your fingers through, or where the glass actually is. So you're gonna have just enough to do this. Make sure you do that, guys, because if you don't, you're gonna have issues with getting this material laid. Just like I said again, we're going to cut the backing, leave all the top ends still there, because what we're going to do is we're just going to create some tension on this back end where it's the thinnest. So same thing, guys, pick it up, heat it to where it's a little bit pliable. You don't want to heat it too much, guys. This stuff is it's kind of thick, kind of weird when it gets too hot. So like I said, same thing. You're just going to want to keep the tension sideways, and you're going to want to look over here, guys. You're going to want to keep that all flat as well. But there we go. Keep it all flat, and try to keep the tension straight this way. And once you got the tension straight this way, you don't want to fight any fingers or anything. You want to keep it as flat as you can, so when you squeegee, you don't have to worry about it wrinkling on itself. So as you can see right about there, we're already good. We're already good to go. Everything is covered. We're about half an inch or an inch past this back end. So once we get this corner over here, because we could still kind of pull it a little bit more to the edge. Once we get this corner over here, as you can see right here, just pull this back end off. We could actually pull it straight towards us, get a little bit more. From here, we could actually trim it out a little bit more over here on the top, just so we could get a little bit more maneuverability. You're not going to want to cut too much, guys, remember. If you cut too much, you're going to risk passing the actual glass. So same thing, we could lift it from here. Keep this up a bit. Just like that, just to where it's pliable, guys, and then pull straight towards you. You're just going to want to pass it just a little bit, guys. You're not going to want to pass it too much. And from here, like I said, you could pretty much squeeze out all the air, and it won't fight against you. From here, you're just going to finish off all your back ends. You can see it wants to lay perfectly how it wants to. It wants to lay where you're supposed to lay. Here you go. Then there is a little bit of bubbles, like I said, guys, on this specific vinyl, this specific color, and this specific brand. You do not want to leave any bubbles behind, because it is extremely hard to get them out. So same thing, pretty much the triangle method, just a little bit more crazier. And then from here, you're going to stretch forward. Same thing with the other side, same thing we're going to do this side. Like I said, we're just chasing out the bubbles. Don't want anything popping out. Don't want anything popping out. So there we go. So from here, we're gonna get it straight to where everything is aligned. Just like that. And we're just going to create a little bit of tension to the front. Like I said, you just want to lay it where it wants to go. You don't want to pull tension. You don't want to create fingers. You just want to kind of guide it where it wants to go. And just like that, with that correct tension, you're gonna get it to lay where you want it to go. You don't want to pull it too hard, guys. You're just keeping tension to the front. See, as you can see right there. I'm just putting my weight on it, and it's creating enough tension to where I could just squeegee it straight. We're not pulling it forward. We're not doing anything drastic. As you can see, we're only passing the edge about an inch. So from here, we could actually cut out a lot more of this than we need. And then we could actually follow the glass a bit to where it won't be hanging up on the glass right here. And then same thing with the other side. Same thing with this side. Same thing we did on the other side, we're going to do on this side. We're going to pretty much just kind of glass it out. Not lay it, but glass it out to like where it hangs above what you're going to squeegee. And like, since I'm doing it in increments and everything is flat where I'm squeegeeing, I could just lay it where it wants to go. And like I said, if you get a bubble, work it out. Don't just leave it there and work past it. You're not going to be able to use the air channels on this one to get it out, which sucks, but it is a great color. Yeah, those air bubbles really kick your ass on this vinyl, and they really kick your ass. I have no idea why it acts like that. It's actually supposed to be more repositionable than this, but yeah, just like that. There we go, guys. Pretty much got all this done. We just need to squeegee out all the air bubbles on this side. But as you can see, the tension is straight to the front of the car. So no matter how you do it, even if you squeegee wrong, it's not going to finger that way. It's going to finger straight to the front of the back. So that means if your material is fingering in the direction of the edges itself, that means they'll wrap around it instead of being hard to tuck in, or instead of fingers going this way, they're actually going to go this way. So there's no way that it's going to pull up of the actual panel itself unless it was fighting against the edges or going in the wrong direction that you're not supposed to be seeing that in. So as of right now, we're all good. Especially like I said, since we're pulling this way and then this way, all this part that you're going to tuck in, it's actually going to curl around and grab onto that edge. So no worries about pullbacks on this, guys. Just like that. Bam. Perfect. That's literally perfect. And then if you heat this, you'll see it curve around the edge. Just like that. It's not going to create any fingers going inwards, guys. It's going to create fingers along the edge, so it's just going to drop down so you could actually curl it. From here, what we're going to do is get a tuck tool. We're going to go on this edge all the way around, and then once we get to the bottom, we're going to gently cut it. But that's it. That's how you wrap a 64-inch hatch of a Corvette, any Corvette you want, with a 5-foot piece. So anything bigger than 5 feet, you could use a 5-foot piece. Just know where to stretch and make sure you're pulling against the edges so it won't finger up where you're not supposed to have fingers. It will curl around the edges and you're good to go. And here we go, guys. This is the end result. As you can see, under the mirrors, the bubbles are gone.
Under the door, the bubbles are gone as well. Went through everything, made sure everything stuck correctly, and made it sit out in the sun for a while just so it could post heat and so everything could sit and adhere correctly. So far the customer reached out to me. He said everything is good. It's been a couple weeks now, and everything is fine and bubble free, guys. Like I said, I'll give massive props to this company, which is APA Evolv, for reaching out, for making everything right, sending me more material so we could install this material correctly and not have any defects in it. Everything matched perfectly, guys, so the batch was correctly mixed and all the colors blend together perfectly. We're just gonna see throughout the year how this material acts and if anything else arises, but as far as everything goes, it was just that batch that had defect issues. I hope you guys like watching, and if you do, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for more. See you on the next one.